This is a biblical principle that many people miss. When a nation gets to a base level of degradation that denies the Creator, denies how you were created, and then you start to act out that denial of your created being, that is such a base level of degradation. Now, Yahweh will not bring forth the visitation if that remains individually hidden. But when a nation broadcasts that in the open market, in the open square, and that becomes the social accepted norm, then the day of visitation there's nothing you and I can do about it. Doing this or trying to put wattle and daub over the hole will not prevent the day of visitation coming. So I am telling you, and you don't need to be told this, but we are in that day and age now, where society rejects the Creator, they reject their humanity, they reject their sexuality, they reject their identity. That is base animal degradation. Therefore, when a nation embraces that from the top down, the judgment always starts from the top down. Therefore, the visitation from the golden calf that rolled forward to Ezekiel chapter 9, rolled forward to the time of Yahusha, Luke chapter 19, verse 41. And it will roll forward to you and I today. And he came near and he saw the city, Yahusha, Jerusalem, and he wept over it, saying, if only you had known even today the matters for your peace. But now they are hidden from thine eyes. Because days shall come upon you when your enemies shall build a rampart around you. Did they build a rampart around Jerusalem in the days of Ezekiel? Yes. And the visitation comes forward, and Yahusha prophesies that same visitation that has its origin at the golden calf breach. It went forward into Ezekiel 9, and Yahusha, recognizing this biblical truth, it's a biblical maxim, comes forward into his day, and then he says, because days shall come upon you when your enemies shall build a rampart around you and surround you and press you on all sides and dash you to the ground and your children within you. They shall not leave in you one stone upon another, because you did not know the time of your visitation. The people that have wattle and daubed up the hole do not know that this is the time of your visitation. That is in Luke chapter 19, verse 41. The people that are continuing with the Easter, the Beaster, and all of this stuff, and have seen the hole in the wall, but have wattle and daubed it up, they will not know that this is the days of our visitation. But those of us that have widened up the hole and start to see it not only in a religious sphere, you see it in a political sphere, you see it with some of these terrorist events that have happened that have been only put forward by the globalists to expedite their agenda, and that we know many of these are false flags. You know what's fake news and what's not, because the hole in the wall and the revelation is increasingly becoming fast and furious. And some of you are even awakening to the revelation of the falseness of the Ashkenazi and the falseness of the state of Israel. And that is really hard for people when you start stepping on Zionism. I'm not talking biblical Zionism. I'm talking 19th and 20th century human invention Zionism. Now, when you start to expand that, and you can see that revelation, everything starts tumbling down. You're the people that can see that the visitation is coming. But you realize, like I said last week, and I'm going to continue to say it, we are our brother's keeper. We have to help rather than be a hindrance. because many that have wattled and dawed up the hole felt ill-equipped to deal with what they could see. They felt ill-equipped in the Word to deal with what they were seeing. It isn't necessarily that they are disobedient, but they're afraid, frightened, and ill-equipped, not grounded in the Word to even comprehend what they're seeing with their pastors and with their prophets. So therefore they wattle and daub up the hole and walk away. But you and I, as our brother's keeper, we have a responsibility to communicate, because the day of visitation, you and I can see, they can't see. They think everything's just going to go on today and tomorrow just as before. They really do. They really do. Really do. So it's a very serious admonition, because we still haven't learned, have we? We still haven't learned. So it comes forward to us today. It's a biblical maxim. There's nothing you and I can do to prevent it, but we can prepare, and we can be those that help those that are ill-prepared, to bring them in like a father would bring in the hens. That's what YaHuWaH's heart is. That's what our heart. It's called the Great Tribulation. We can't prevent it, but Ezekiel can help us prepare for it. Today we await, my friends, for the time of visitation as it rolls prophetically at increasing speed towards us. Don't wattle and daub up the hole. It won't go away. It's a biblical maxim. YaHuWah recognized it, and even he couldn't prevent it, could he? Could he prevent the destruction of Jerusalem? No. He asked his father, Father, this cup is too heavy for me to take. But the Father wanted him to take that cup. You and I, we have to walk in what we've been destined to walk in.